Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with me, and I have no clue what day we're on, but anyway, today we're going to make, this is for Linda Guglielmetti, I think. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your last name. She wanted to see some candy treat bags or cute gift bag ideas for neighbor or co-workers. So we're going to create one today. Now, a similar bag like this has been out there for a long time. So you're going to see some of the similarities of this bag, but this one is going to have just a little bit of a twist on it. So hold on and we will see if we can put this together. You're going to need a piece of paper, cardstock, that's cut 8.5 by 12. You're going to score at 1/2 inch. And this is on the 12-inch side. You're going to score at 5, at 7, and at 11.5. Then you're going to turn it, and you're going to score at 2, and at 6.5. Okay, that's your scoring. So just go ahead and fold on all your score lines. Burnish those. And then for the two on the end that are 1/2 inch, you're actually going to fold them the opposite way. And you'll see why in just a few minutes. So I just fold those back. Okay, now you're going to go to this line right here, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and hopefully I won't forget to zoom back out. Okay. Where these two score lines meet, this one that comes this way and this one that goes across, you're going to go right there and you're going to pull this hold on, my paper's not wanting to cooperate. You're going to first hold it up like this. See, I have to think about it for a second. Hold your finger right there in that score line and pull that other little line back to meet that one, and then give it a burnish. Alright, let me hold that up so you'll see. See where this score line and this one met right there. So we're pulling this paper right here up to meet that. So we're putting those two score lines together. That leaves us that little thing like that on the inside. You're going to do the same thing on this end. I just kind of put my fingernail in there and give it a little bit of a push. Bring it up. And then just get your score tool in there. And it's forming something that looks like this. Like I said, I know some of you have seen these out there before. Something similar to this. This fold anyway. Then you're going to do the same thing to the other side. Okay, just like that. Flip it around, fold this in. You know, this needs to be over. Put your finger right there where those score lines meet, and then pull that score line out to meet the other one. And it makes it really simple when you do that. Okay. And it'll, you know, you'll have to do it a couple of times. Like I said, I still have to think about it. But as long as you fold this over and start that way, then you're good. You'll remember. Okay. That's got our score lines in there. So we're going to open it back up and get some of our score tape. We can find the end of it. And let me zoom back out some. See, I almost forgot. Alright, you're going to go right here on the end where you have those 1/2-inch score lines, and you're going to put score tape on those. And then grab your little everything tool, pull that off, and fold that over. You know how we do that. That's reinforcing that end because we're actually going to put something on there that's going to need a little bit of reinforcing too. Okay. Right. Now you're going to fold this back over, and when I fold that back over, I go ahead and make sure that this lines up really well, and I give that another little burnish like that, and I do the same thing on this end. Because now it's got double cardstock in there, and it's a little bit harder. Okay, and now what you're going to do is right here on the inside, you're going to put some, and I'm just going to use some ATG tape because it holds it very well. So you've got this little thing that looks like a half of a triangle maybe. So you're going to put score tape right there, or ATG tape is what we're going to use. And I like to run a little bit right across the top because you want that top to stay down really well. And then the edges. And I go ahead and put on all of my tape before I stop. And I don't know why my tape gun's popping. Okay. Now you're just going to take these and fold them down. Take this in, fold it down. So that doesn't look much like a treat bag, does it? But when you open that up, you've got a place right in here to put your treats or your little gifts, or you know, it'd be a cute little place to put gift cards, something like that in there. You could also include a card in it if it's big enough for that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to flip it back over this way, and we're going to cover the outsides of this. I don't think I'm going to cover the bottom, but we are going to cover the outside. And I am using, let me tell you what I'm using before we go any further. I'm using the American Crafts Christmas cardstock stack, and this is a big pad of paper. It has, what does it have? It has 48 sheets in here. It's a really good quality cardstock. It's got all of your Christmas colors that you could imagine, just about. Beautiful berry red. So I'm using this. We have this in the shop, and then I am using the Christmas Wishes 6.5 by 6.5 pad from Kaiser Craft. Okay, so these are the mats that we're going to put on here. This piece is cut at 4 1/4 by 3 7/8, and then this one is cut at 4 by 3 3/4. So we're going to go ahead and mat these first, and I'm just going to use my ATG. Could use wet glue if you wanted to, as long as it's not one that's going to make your paper bulk up. And just make sure that you got your pattern running the correct way. And then you're going to put one down right there, making sure your pattern's running the right way. Because your bag is going to be up like this, so we want that pattern. This is going to be the top. So I want it to run just like that. And right here, I'm going to use some of my art glitter glue. It gives me a little bit more wiggle time. Alright, just put your mat right under where this thing folded over. And that should center it up really, really well. So put it right up against, just butt it up against that little part that folded over there. Then flip it around. This is going to be your top again. Let's go ahead and put this down. Okay, so just like that. And like I said, I'm not going to put anything on the bottom because this is going to be sitting down, but you could do that if you wanted to. Now these are the type bags that if you just do this and decorate them a little bit, you can lay them flat in a drawer and just save them and be ready to go with them when it comes time to use them. Okay, now I'm going to use this punch and I'm going to punch out some of this gold glitter paper. This is that glitter paper that doesn't shed. And I'm going to use it to go across the top just for an embellishment. Now I started punching it out, but then I realized there are probably some of you new crafters that may not know how to use one of these punches. I always go upside down with my punches because I don't know how else you would line these up. Just start punching at the end, and then when you start to go to the next punch, let me see if I can get that up there. You line that last little punch up. See, line it up with that last, see there, that punch, the last punched image there. I guess you could call that an image. So wherever that punched last, you're going to line, let me get it in here and then close it. Okay, so you're going to line that one up with the last little scallop and then punch. Okay, this glitter paper is a little bit harder to punch, of course, than regular. And then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to put it back in there. Line that last one up. Making sure that your paper is pressed in all the way. And just punch. Go all the way down like that. And there it makes a really pretty punch. And this is one of the Martha Stewart punches. I have no idea what the name of it is, but that's what it looks like. We don't have those in the shop, but if you want to know what it is and would like to have one, let me know in the comments and I can track one down for you. Alright, so I'm going to put this, I'm going to put a row of this up here, right across there. I think that would be pretty, just like that. So we're going to cut this off. And I just put it in my trimmer. And I just left a pretty good border up here at the top because I can always trim that border off if I need to. But I don't think I'll need to. I think that looks good right there. I know that's hard for you to see. There we go. With the lighting. Alright, but I don't want this little, that little end right there that's open. I want it to start right here on one of these. So what I'm going to do is just take my scissors. It'll be a little closed thing right there to start with. Alright, so we'll put that Just like that. And then I'm just going to take my pencil, wherever my pencil might be, and I'm going to mark this where I need to cut it. So that's what we want to do right there. And there is gold in here. It's not exactly the same type gold, but it's going to work. And I'm going to use some of my art glitter glue to put this down with. So now we're going to put our handles on, and this little bag is going to have some handles, and I'm just using the gold as the handles, and this is cut 3/4 of an inch by 9.5, and then I just rounded the corners on both ends. So what we're going to do is use our crocodile on the small side, and I'm going to come in. I've got it set for 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to come in from this side and just kind of center it as best I can. Just kind of eyeballing it. Punch me a little hole. And I'm going to do the same on this side. Now you could glue these on. You don't have to put them on with brads. I'm just going to put them on with brads because I think it'll look pretty. And it'll be a little bit more sturdy. But there's lots of different ways to put your handles on. You don't have to do this. Okay. So that's what we have. And now we need to punch our holes in the straps. And I don't want my straps to come down low, so I want to just kind of mark where I want to punch my holes. Just like that. Alright, so I just marked it, just a tiny little mark on the back side. And my crocodile it's got to where it doesn't want to cut on the little side for some reason. I do, you know, it probably needs cleaning out. If you need the straight of it. And then I'm just putting them together and doing the other side like that. Okay, so that should give you your little handle. Let's see. Yeah, just like that. Okay, but what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do my other handle. Just match it up so that I don't get them off. And when you're using this glitter paper, it's better to cut from the back side. That way it doesn't fray that as much, which it doesn't really fray that much anyway, but sometimes if your punch is not really sharp, it'll get hung up in there. So I just do it like that. So then we're going to put this one on top of that, and we're just going to eyeball that hole and punch it. See, for some reason it doesn't want to cut. Okay. Now what we're going to do is, before I put the handles on, I want to kind of decorate the front. And I'm thinking I want this to be the front. This one looks a little bit straighter, I think. So we're going to put this on. This is just from a die that I have. I've had it forever. I don't even know if they still make it. But I just die cut that little piece out of the same glitter paper. And I'm going to put this one down flat. But then I'm going to pop this little piece up. And I'll show you that in just a second. So we're going to put some glue on this. And I'm going to kind of put it down here in this corner. Now I cut out some of this greenery, and I'll show you the die that I cut it out from in just a minute. And I'm thinking about just kind of tucking it in the back there. There is some green in here. It's more of a teal green, but it's a green. And I want a little bit of green on here to make it look a little bit more like Christmas. So I'm thinking about just putting those down like that. And see, this has green in it, so it'll kind of pull that out. So let's see what that looks like if I glue those down right there. So let's get that glued. And then all I'm going to do is just go in with my little tip here. And I'm just going to put some glue here and there. And I'll show you the die that I cut these out from. It is absolutely gorgeous. The picture of the die does not do these justice. That's what I like about this fine tip. You can get in there on the back and just put a little dab of glue and you got it. Okay, this is the die that I used, and it is a Thinlits die, and it's from Sizzix, and it's called Garden Greens, and it has all of these dies in it. Isn't that beautiful? And they're a good size too. They're not small at all. I simply love them. Look at that. They come out very, very easily when you die cut them. But we still have some of these. If you want one, go over and grab it. I'll put the link to this die below the video. Alright, now we're going to pop this up. And I'm going to use some dimensionals. Okay, so we have that down. And now we can put our... Let's see, I made a little bow for it. Put that little bow down right there. And I'm going to use a glue dot to put that down. These glue dots are wonderful as well. I'll link them below. Now we're ready for our handles. Now, like I said, I'm putting my handles on here with some brads. But you could put yours on with glue, whatever. I had these little star gold brads in my stash. And I just decided to use them. Okay, so there are your little handles for your bag. Now, in order to make this bag stay closed like this, you can now put some glue right here if you want to and close it up, and it'll stay closed just like that. You could also pull it together, push these sides in, pull it together, and put you a little magnet right here if you want it closed completely. I think I'm going to go ahead and put some glue right here to close mine up. And all I'm going to do is put some score tape there. But these are good for, you know, making ahead of time and storing them in your drawer or wherever. And then when you get ready to gift something, you've already got your bag made and you're ready to go. And you could make lots of these ahead of time since they do store flat. My little everything tool keeps running away from me. Okay, so I just put it on those little four sides right there, and I'm just going to peel the backing off. And then I'm just going to pull them up, and one at a time, press them down. See that now? Makes my bag stay closed like that. But then I could also go ahead and put my little magnets up here, on here, and close it up. Now, in order that our little brad, the backs of them don't show, and to kind of finish this inside off. We don't want anybody hanging their finger on there. I just cut another little piece of this cardstock. So just cut you a piece that's 1/2 inch by 4.5, and that's going to go right there across those brads to finish that off. There we go. We've got that one closed off too. And now we just take a little bag of candy, Christmas candy, and I put mine in a little bag and put a bow on it. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. Sit it down in there, and it is ready to go and sit on a recipient's desk. Just a cute little gift bag that has their goodies in there. If you wanted to slip a little gift card or something down in there, that would be cute too. But I think they're super adorable. I absolutely love them. Now, just to tie all of this gold and everything in, I've took my stickles, and on these little, I guess you'd call them berries or whatever. I know berries are not gold, but I am going to put just a little touch of the stickles right in the center of those little berries. That'll pull that green back and tie it in with the other parts of the bag. See what that does? And you know how much I like my diamond stickles. So I am going to put a little bit of the diamond stickles around on these leaves. This will keep them from looking so flat, and it'll also tie them in because this diamond has just a little bit of gold flakes in it. So that is that. See how that pulled all of that together? I think that's beautiful. So that is it. That is our cute little bag. You see it holds plenty of treats. Plenty of, you could put gift cards, whatever in here, so for your co-workers, friends, just whatever. And there is another one that I made. This is using the Graphic 45 St. Nicholas collection, and it's in the traditional reds and greens. Love that. And you can decorate both sides if you want. I'm just going to decorate the front side of mine. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please let us know that you did by giving us a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. We will be back with more tutorials, and we will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.